And so can you tell us a little bit about how, you know, you started your game, you started from there to opening Patta?
Okay, first off, I would love to thank everybody for coming out, because to me this is kind of amazing. I mean, like, I'm just a normal kid, just like you. I'm a fan. I love shit. So I love fucking music. I love trainers. And now I get flew over just to talk to you guys about what I like to do. It's crazy. Thank you. But yeah, like I said, I'm just a fan, just like you. And it just started back in the 80s. Came up 90s with the records. Actually, I only had like 4 things that I love, and still is like 4 things. It's like my hobbies. First off is football. I love to watch football, play football. Easy. Second is music. I'm a DJ. I collect records. I do that since '92 playing. I got infected by the hip hop virus, I call it. Back in '84, '85 in Amsterdam. Third thing is, of course, fashion and sneakers came with it. And the last thing is women. So, you know, 4 things that I just like. And they all became my hobby. And from that hobby, I made my job. That's why I'm over here flying to you guys, and I get paid and just talk shit. That's what I do.
So, if you could talk a little bit more shit about the progression from how you were, for me, how you were a guy who got invited to work behind the desk at Fat Beats, to then working, you know, opening your store.
It's real easy. Like, you know, like I said, I got 4 hobbies. So one of those was like fashion and sneakers. So we was, you know, smoking and thinking, like, yo, why or couldn't it be dope to have our own sneakers? Or like to have a sneaker shop. So instead of we went to all the, how you say that, accounts, like Adidas or Nike or whatsoever, we started to bring in stuff from overseas. Because, like I said, I'm a DJ, so I used to travel to the States, played over there, Europe, Asia. And every time when we went out, just like today, I came in, and first thing I did was just pop in the hotel, went out, and start digging for some records. So, you know, that's what I do. So at one point, I just found out, like, look, let me just start a sneaker shop.
Yes.
Hold on. So you said I'm a hobby still.
Yeah.
Women or sneakers? Which one do you put over the other?
No, it's like
just saying, if you had to put one over the other, where are we going on that one?
Okay, yeah, you don't have to put it. It's like one of the 4. So I get with it. It will come with a territory. Let me put it this way. It will come with the territory.
Yeah.
When you play, when you're a DJ, at the end of the night, there's probably 2 or 3 women. There's, you know.
And we've all probably worn sneakers to impress women at the same time in our lives, right? If we're being honest, no?
I don't think women are particularly impressed by sneakers, if I'm honest. It's usually other things that impress women. Yeah, they don't look at your feet, they tend to look at other places. Yeah.
Penises.
I didn't say that.
Wait,
I didn't say that. Possibly.
So let's get back to the evolution of Patta, because I think we've deviated a little bit. Probably more so from my perspective. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, so as a guy working behind desk at Fat Beats, you know, you got invited over to New York, you have hella connections over there. Well, you know, how did that evolve to you opening? Is that what gave you the initial confidence to open Patta?
Nah, it's real. It's actually real simple. Like I said, you know, it's one of our hobbies. Then I started doing it. Like when we, of course, you have to make a business plan and all of that. But when we started, like, you know, the bank wouldn't give us any money. So we started getting our own money and then started going to the States, buying sneakers in. I didn't know nothing about shipping, taxes, nothing. I learned that through the whole thing.
Just through going over there?
Going in. Just going in.
The best way to learn, really, you know, to be honest.
Oh.
So let's bring it over to you, Welty. You know, how did you get your start at Complex? What did you do that led you to, you know, ended up getting a job as, you know, assistant editor at Complex? And what does that entail, you know, being...
Yeah, so I've worked in the footwear industry for like 15 years now. I started working at a sneaker store. I was assistant manager at Foot Locker. My mom worked at Timberland for 15 years before me, so I'm just kind of like, I love sneakers.
Timberland?
Yeah, boots, yeah. I grew up in the town where the global headquarters was in New Hampshire, but yeah, I just worked at sneaker stores, and I was like, I don't want to fucking work at sneaker stores anymore. So back to school, got a journalism degree, and then I was kind of like, yo, I still love sneakers, you know? So I ended up fucking writing about sneakers. You can't fucking escape it, man. Like, sneakers are such a fucking drug. It's like shit where you're like, fuck, I want to get it out of my system, but you can't. And it's like, when you really get into it, it's just like, everyone you meet who's really into shoes, it's like you instantly know from the second of talking to them where it's just, you have that connection. And you know how much it means to them, how much it means to you, regardless of what other your background is, where you come from, all that. When you have that like instant connection of just being a fucking sneaker addict, it's like, the other shit doesn't even matter, man. And then it's just like, you know, I worked there, I've been there for like 6 years. Have a show on YouTube now called Full Size Run that some people watch, I don't know. It's fun.
It's a good show, right? Yeah? Alright, so Alex, in the getting to know you session that we're doing right now, why don't you tell us a bit about your history leading up to, you know, Basement, how it evolved, you know, your whole journey up to that point that was, you know, led you to where you are today.
So for me, the love of trainers, as we call them here, it's not sneakers, it's trainers.
That's right.
Yeah, trainers. Came from not being able to afford the trainers that I was seeing when I was 9 and 10 years old. I used to walk past the shop every day on the way to primary school with my mum, and I used to ask her for a pair of Air Max 98 Gundams actually, and they cost £110 back then, and I was growing quickly, and my mum was like, no fucking way, you're not getting them, you're going to grow out of them in 3 months, that's a waste of my money. So quickly you build up that emotional connection and you want to get that.
Yeah, it's what you can't have.
Yeah, 100%. And there was just something alluring about it. And then as I grew up, I guess, coming from South London as well, there's a heavy tracksuit and trainer culture. So I was embedded in that, but that wasn't even through fashion, that was just part of growing up in South London.
I can feel when you first got the shoes though, like after, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I remember the first time I got a pair actually of Air Maxes, and yeah, it felt incredible. I went into primary school in year 6, and I remember they only had 3 air bubbles instead of 7, so I was a bit pissed off. But even my teacher complimented them and asked me where I got them from. So yeah, it was a good feeling. But yeah, since then I've always just loved trainers, streetwear. It's a part of me deep down.
And that's led to where you've got to now with, you know, Basement. But what were the mechanics to start in Basement? That's what I'm asking, is how you got from being someone who basically knows trainers to, you know, being
So yeah, pretty similar to Edson.
creative director.
Yeah, pretty similar to Edson, I guess. Like we were all consumers. We wanted the products, we loved the products, and there was a network of us in Soho in London, and that is arguably the streetwear capital of the world at the moment. Everyone is traveling to Soho.
What do you guys think about it? Would you agree with that? Our international guests?
yeah, I mean, like, a lot of people are gonna say that, like, New York started this shit, which is true.
Yeah.
It's true. But I think New York isn't as cool as it used to be. New York doesn't feel like New York. You know what I mean? But yo, you said like, you know, starting this shit. How does it feel to have those on your feet, man?
Yeah, very special. I mean, we can get onto that a bit later, but I think that like it came from a very organic and real place, and that's why it feels so special because
So
it wasn't
saying just a passion that became an obsession, and that just fed into it.
Yeah, there was a network of us in Soho basically that we all knew each other. One of them's over there sitting, keeping quiet in the corner.
The main model,
Yeah.
the face.
But yeah, so we started a little community, and initially it was only like 15 or 20 of us, but I guess on a grassroots level, we all had like a pretty strong reputation for ourselves. We were all known in and around the street where epicenter that was Soho, so quite quickly people started gravitating towards our conversation, and we built a community which just keeps growing and growing.
I mean, it's grown pretty big. It's a large community. How do you manage that?
Well, we've got a big team now. There's a team that like manages the community, and then there's a team behind the scenes that manages all the output that we try and create for the community. Because at the heart of it, the basement is a community. So everything we do is about providing outputs and opportunities for our community and other young people.
Sweet.